Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got a breaking news report coming out from Norway to share with all of you, and we're going to talk more about the aftermath of this talk between President Zelensky and also President Trump as they met in the Oval Office yesterday. And we know by now that this talk did not go well, and the U.S. basically turning their back on Ukraine. And it looks like now what we're starting to see is we're going to have a lot of friendly countries turning their back on the United States as well. Take a look at this, guys. Norway's private firm Haltback Bunkers bans refueling U.S. forces. A petrol giant in Norway has announced a ban on fuel sales to all U.S. forces following Donald Trump's treatment of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House, it has been reported. Okay, so apparently this private firm in Norway that sells fuel to the U.S. Navy and U.S. forces and probably other countries around Europe as well, they decided to put a ban and boycott U.S. forces from fueling any of their vessels, like their submarines, like you see right here, nuclear subs. So I do have a report today that apparently all this came about when a nuclear sub coming from the U.S. was supposed to be refueling in Norway, and they were allegedly refused completely. Okay, so this is crazy, guys. I think we're going to start to see a lot of countries coming out that were originally very friendly to the U.S. We're going to see a lot of boycotting coming here very soon because a lot of people are very unhappy with what happened yesterday in the White House when Zelensky met with Trump, and everybody was just ganging up on him and completely turning their backs on Ukraine. So let me show you this report here real quick from Daily Express. Norway fuel giant refuses to fill U.S. submarines after Trump-Zelensky clash. Norwegian petroleum giant Haltback Bunkers has declared it will no longer help the U.S. Navy. This coming out today, March 1st, 2025. Here's a picture of a U.S. Navy submarine right here. And it says, a petrol giant in Norway has announced a ban on fuel cells to all U.S. forces following Donald Trump's treatment of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at the White House, it has been reported. Norwegian firm Haltback Bunkers announced it will stop providing fuel to all American forces in Norway as it declared no fuel to Americans. The firm posted on social media to declare its support for Zelensky as it dealt a hammer blow to U.S. President Trump following the heated spat televised from the Oval Office. It said, we have today been witness to the biggest S show, you guys know what that word is, probably I'm not going to say it, ever presented live on TV by the current American president and his vice president. Huge credit to the president of Ukraine restraining himself and for keeping calm even though USA put on a backstabbing TV show. It made us sick, short and sweet. As a result, we have decided to immediate stop as a fuel provider to American forces in Norway and their ships calling Norwegian ports. No fuel to Americans. We encourage all Norwegians and Europeans to follow our example. Slava Ukraina. Owner of the firm, Gunnar Gran, has told Norwegian maritime news site Kistens Næringsliv, if I'm saying that right, I'm probably not pronouncing that correctly. My apologies, guys. That not a liter of fuel will be delivered until Trump is finished. It is reported, as you probably understand, not a liter will be delivered until Trump is finished. The owner tells Kistens Næringsliv. We run a private limited company and choose our customers. The owner also said that the group has excluded Russians since Putin's invasion, adding, it gave a lot of our competitors a lot of extra revenue. We lost a lot of revenue, but we have a moral compass. Now the United States is excluded based on their behavior towards the Ukrainians, okay? So they're willing to take this huge hit and no longer sell fuel to any of the U.S. military, okay? And it says here the fuel ban takes effect immediately and applies to vessels calling at Norwegian ports. It says Haltback Bunkers also sends a further appeal. Okay, so there is more information talking about this meeting yesterday with Zelensky and Trump at the White House. But one more thing I want to show you guys real quick that they did not mention here on this article is talks about this U.S. submarine that got refused today. So take a look at this from Vicegrad24. They're reporting breaking nuclear submarine USS Virginia was forced to turn around off the coast of Norway after a refusal to refuel by a private company following the Trump-Zelensky meeting. HB, one of the largest marine fuel companies in Norway, says it won't refuel U.S. Navy vessels from now on. Okay, so there's a photo of a U.S. Navy vessel there. We'll scroll down here. Here was the original statement that came out from Haltback Bunkers. We went over this on that article, but pretty much just stating the same thing: no fuel to Americans, right? And allegedly, they gave us an update here also. It says, correction, the name of the submarine is the USS Delaware, call sign SSN 791. It's a Virginia-class nuclear attack submarine, okay? So yeah, apparently it was off the coast of Norway, and it had to leave. It had to turn around and head back, I guess, from where it was coming from, or maybe go to another port somewhere over in Europe, as this Norwegian company just completely refusing to fuel this nuclear submarine. Okay, so this is very big, and I think this could only be the beginning of this. I mean, will governments get involved and start boycotting the U.S.? We don't know that for sure yet. I'm thinking that probably be the last case scenario, but don't be surprised if we start to see a lot of like defense companies, manufacturers in Europe, fueling companies like what we're seeing here, critical infrastructure that maybe the U.S. uses inside of Europe, that all of a sudden just starts boycotting the U.S. like crazy. I think that could be highly likely. And I just wanted to give you guys this update and let you know this could be the very beginning of that. And really don't be surprised if a lot of companies come out and start showing their support for Ukraine and turning their backs on the U.S. now. And I'm sure many of these companies may rely on the U.S., but at the same time, it looks like Europe is really standing strong for Ukraine, which is really good for them. But at the same time, I think it's important to maintain those relations with the U.S. And this could be really bad for Europe, could be really good for them. But regardless, we know right now Europe is standing firm. They're staying strong for Ukraine, and they're realizing that most likely in the near future, they're going to be on their own. They got to step up for themselves, okay? So looks like we're going to have some crazy string of events unfolding here over the next coming weeks. Let me know what you guys think about these details down below in the comment section. That's going to be it for today's update. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. And with that, hope you all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless. And we'll see you in the next one.